Liam Boyle, all the way from Belfast to Seattle, and you were the captain of the 1969 Antrim team, the first Antrim team, I believe, to win an All-Ireland championship at any grade. Is that the truth? Do you remember that?
That's how the story goes, yeah. So it was seemed a pretty big deal at that time there, and I don't think I've ever done anything since that there, so yeah, it was a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, it didn't bear lots of results afterwards, but that's just the way it goes.
Well, let's go back to 1969. Tell me about that championship and the final and the cup and all that. What do you remember?
Well, the actual final itself, I remember it was a really drizzly day, and we were on before, I think it was Donegal, in a replay, so it was a pretty big crowd there, and we were playing Roscommon, and Roscommon had Dermot Earley playing in the middle of the field. I mean, the legend, and he was a pain in the ass, to be quite honest with you, because he kind of dominated things. But he was one of the worst shooters in the world, so we kind of said afterwards we let him shoot, get the ball and shoot, because he would miss. But no, it was a really tight game there, and we were a pretty small, light team. Like I was midfield, like 5'10", 140 pound or something like that. So no big deal. So we liked to move the ball about quickly and stuff like that. It was a wet, greasy day, so it didn't suit us. But we had a really, really good squad then, really good, and we come through some hard games. We beat down in the Ulster final, and then we flew down to Cork to play them. And we were underdogs there because Cork were like 6 foot plus and stuff like that, and strong favourites. But we beat them, because we had a good team spirit and we had some exceptional players there.
Well, you had Andy McCallin and players like that. He went on, of course, to win an All-Star famously.
Right, yeah. Andy was one of those sort of top of the right type of things there, and he's got this very deceptive dummy, and I've seen him doing it to the best players in Ireland. He just does it to them and he leaves them stand. And when he goes in for goals, you can bet on it's a good chance going to be a goal, yeah.
And you were the captain. What do you remember about getting the cup? Who handed it over to you? What the crowd was like? What your speech was like?
Well, I just remember, it was 11-10, that was the thing, so I wasn't sure who had won. And I looked around, and Jerry Nellis, one of the players, he says, "We won," and I just couldn't believe it. And then suddenly the crowd were in on top of us, because they were a pretty noisy crowd to come down there, really good following. And we were carried over there, or dragged over to the presentation thing there, and I was to make a speech. I think Jack Lynch was a Taoiseach at that time there. So I was to make a speech, and I was all prepared and ready to go, and somebody messed up the microphone, so I never got to do it. But I did 3 hip hip hoorays for Roscommon. And I don't remember much about the actual game. It's just one of those things, you maybe little glimpses here and there. But the actual game, not a lot. But I know Dermot Earley was just really, really good there, yeah.
But did you get to meet Jack Lynch?
Probably, yeah. But I say the Antrim supporters were just all over the place. They were a pretty noisy bunch, and they just didn't care. They just were going to be there. And
how much would you like to see Antrim get back to those days?
Oh, I would love it there. I watch them every week, and I'll be watching the hurlers tomorrow again, and I follow them through GA Go and the local papers and such. And I would love it, and there's potential there, but potential's been there a long time, and they just don't show the potential, don't fulfill that potential, which is a shame. And it's sad to say that you get used to it, but you really don't get used to it, because when they're getting a run there, you think they're going well, and then suddenly, just like against Fermanagh a couple of weeks back there, they didn't do anything in the first half, and then they tried in the second half, but at that stage, it's too much. So hopefully they'll get a run in the qualifiers, and maybe get a bit of momentum going and do something, because they've got players back this year, and they've got Fitzy and Garrod Adams there, so they know their football. But as you know yourself, the competition is really, really strong in Ulster, and there's 3 or 4 teams up there who are above everybody else. So, but we live in hope anyway.
How much do you enjoy passing on the skills of hurling to young Americans here in Seattle, like you're doing tonight?
I love doing it there, because I feel as if I know something about the football and the hurl, and the kids are very enthusiastic. Americans are tremendously, especially in the hurl, they just want to know more and more and more, and they listen to you. Guys back home say, "Oh yeah, I heard it all before, blah blah blah." But the kids here, and the adults as well, they really want to know about it. They're very sincere about it, and they put the effort in. And from a coach's point of view, what more can you ask for,
And finally, I have to ask you about your brother Sean, who passed away recently and was a bit of an institution at the St Paul's Club in Belfast, although you're St Malachy's yourself and in a family of 11.
Yeah, 11 kids, yeah. And we all played for St Malachy's. Either my mother and 4 sisters played camogie, and then myself and all my 6 brothers played football hurling for St Malachy's. And sometime in the 70s, Sean left and went to St Paul's. And he did pretty well there, I think, yeah. But
Sorry, pretty well. He became a legend.
Oh, well, okay, well, after me that is, anyway, there, yeah, legend too, we'll call it then. But yeah, he was there, you know, he was very well known, very well received, and got up in St Paul's there. And he was a nice guy, like, you know, and he made many friends and few enemies, so that was good. So yeah, it was really sad that he was passed, because probably he was closer to me than any of my brothers. He was just a year and a half younger, and we went to school to Harden Street to Blair, and we played St Malachy's right through under 16 minor, under 21, the whole lot, like, you know. So yeah, it was a big miss there, yeah, big loss. Yeah.
And you're still wearing your Antrim colours tonight. It's still close to your heart.
Oh yeah, it's right there. It's right on top of my heart there, yeah. I've always been an Antrim person. I always will be, no matter what, like, yeah. But I'm probably a GAA person as much as anything, yeah.